Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a look here at Holo and or Hot, depending on how you like to call it. Whatever that is, I don't know. Regardless, I'm not a financial advisor. Just love teaching you how to trade. Hopefully you can learn a thing or two here today. My goal is to teach you to become a better trader, and I want to kind of explain today how this breakout occurred and the reason for it. Okay. Furthermore, as well, if you're not currently a community member, CryptoCache.tech is the link in the description below. That's the place in which you can find more information on what I provide for you. I provide you a trading academy, trading community, and of course, send out signals for every trade that I take. And we've been extremely profitable in the last couple of weeks, and it's been just kind of channel trading Bitcoin for the most part. Right now is a momentum play, and obviously I cover that in my Bitcoin video, so check that out as well if you'd like. I cover that daily, and it's really important to know what Bitcoin's doing so you can understand these other coins too. All right, so take a look here at Holochain, or not Holochain, sorry, Hot. Let's just say Hot. Keep it from there. We want to acknowledge something here. First of all, we have this, this breakout pattern. First of all, the price is coming down, eventually works its way down. The 50-day SMA works concurrent with that. And then, of course, when we get the price back up above the 50 right here, it's usually go time. All right. Now, furthermore, just outside of just the moving averages, because that's not really how you identify a momentum play, you identify them in a couple ways. First of all, you can see the trend line forming here, essentially. Okay. You can see the upward trend where it's essentially making higher lows. It's also making higher highs, of course, but traditionally speaking, higher lows are the more important thing to look for. That's what we see here. We also see a potential test of the most recent high. The most recent high was 46.84 as a close approximate. So we'll go ahead and mark that and kind of look. 46.84 is right here. You can see it tested it twice here previously, and once again a third time. If you've heard and watched any of my videos, you'll know that I'm a big fan of threes, I guess you could say. Anytime you test a resistance level 3 times, the fourth day is likely a break. There's also scenarios in which candlesticks have patterns. You have 3 green candlesticks, the fourth day is a red day. 3 red days, fourth day is a green day. There's a kind of a common place there for 3 plus 1, or just three days, or just 3 in general. We saw 3 tests here of the resistance, and what do you know? Today it broke out and shot up. Okay, and what that just basically means, and the reason why that factors in, is because we've had 3 days over the last 5 of the bulls trying to push past a certain price point, and the bears keep pushing the price down, saying, no, we're not going to allow this. But the more often you push something, the more often you try to get your way through something, the more likely it is to break. In other words, you push yourself through a door, the more often you kick a door, the more likely it is to break down. The same concept applies here, right? The bears lost their selling pressure and gave up, and the bulls just took full control. Okay, and you can see that reflected as well with the volume. Volume speaks very loud. Tremendous amount of volume implies that we should expect a continuation. Keep in mind, it is big on the overextended side, and we'll take a look at that, but I just want to kind of throw that out there for the trend line so you understand where we're at. RSI is under 70, awesome. Above 50, under 70, all good. We could break above 70, if so, we'll consider that a potential support level after, but for now it's a tentative resistance, which is synonymous in a lot of ways with about 56.45. All right, so just keep in mind, Hot is looking very good in that sense that one day doesn't tell us anything adverse or give us any signals of a potential for turnaround. Now, 4 hour might be a different story. TD sequential, obviously overextended. A lot of coins are at a 9 right now because Bitcoin is as well. And what that basically just means is we could expect a turnaround. If you look here previously, what was this last 9? Last 9 came up to bounce off the resistance, come all the way back down. It came down a decent percent. That was an overall correction of about 10%. So if we took that same math and just applied it here, hypothetically, we could see a 9% correction down to 4,800. Again, that's a hypothetical, but is that going to happen? No, not a guarantee. But what is a guarantee in most cases is that previous resistance here, which is the 9, is established by the Fibonacci retracement, correction, by the TD sequential. When we see a 9 on TD sequential, we see these little lines that come across. That basically tells us that that is a potential support level for the price to come back down. The price does come back down and correct itself, we shouldn't see anything lower than 47.70. Okay? That's essentially what it's telling us. All right, so again, these little smaller support levels that can be established based on previous resistances is important to acknowledge. Previous 9 is now a new ground floor, so to speak, right? At least in a nice continuation here. So what we're looking for is a correction that is no greater than 47.70. If it comes below 47.70, then we might be potentially losing this trend line, because obviously by the time it gets there, it might be somewhere in this range, and then we would maybe consider this a broken trend, and effectively the continuation of the upside is less likely in that case, right? Just some stuff, some food for thought there. That's essentially what I like to look for. Another thing that's potential concern here is RSI over 70 on the 4 hour. I never like to see that. That's almost a mirror image of what we saw here previously. So if you don't want this to happen, pay attention to this, right? Because RSI is telling us, hey, we're overextended on the 4 hour. I don't mind an overextension on the 1 day. That's perfectly fine. Usually works as a support. But in this case here, we may not see that work as a support level, but you always got to give it the benefit of the doubt. When the price is coming back down, see how it responds to 70 on the RSI. If it bounces, then we're good to go for continuation. If it continues lower, then we're losing that momentum. And of course, the trend line might become jeopardized at that point. All right, so again, just some really cool stuff there in that sense that we can kind of see. Looking at the Ichimoku cloud, obviously, all well and good, green lights there, no need to concern yourself. We're at a 5 on TD sequential here, so there is potential for about 5 more hours of continuation to the upside and or sideways before it decides it wants to retrace, if it does. Again, there's no guarantees, but if it does, 47.70 would be likely the lowest point in which it'll come, and obviously, there's better chance it might consolidate about 5,200. So keep that in mind. With this amount of volume, and the selling pressure being very low, we may not expect a significant retracement. Okay, I just want you to kind of understand that. It does depend on how Bitcoin behaves. Bitcoin sees a massive correction down to 33, 32, 31, sorry, 43, 42, or 41, then we'll see a potential correction from Holochain or Holo a lot faster, right? At this point, essentially, we're in good shape. I wouldn't expect a massive correction. Just know 47.70 is the next key level support if we did. But all in all, good stuff here. There's a reason why this broke out. Once again, mostly just a trend line play. You see the previous resistance getting tested. The likelihood of breakout is quite high. 2 other coins right now are exhibiting this behavior, Solana and Matic. So I'd pay attention to that. I've covered those here today as well if you're curious. Those are 2 other potential breakouts. Now, is HOT or Holo going to continue higher? Strong likelihood that it will. At least until it breaks this trend line, we can expect it to continue to trend upwards. That's just the way it goes. Okay. It's almost the exact inverse of what we're seeing back here. So all good stuff there in that sense. I think big picture has tremendous potential. I do think we could see a price point about 7,842 or 8,800 in the relative near future. That's mostly, again, we got to break 6,200 first. I hope you found benefit, and like and subscribe if you haven't already. CryptoCache.tech is the website. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for your time.